If you like to watch news on TV, you might have always noticed that they tell you the wind speed and speed of a river flow. Have you ever wondered how do they measure it? If not, then think now. It has everything to do with the paper toy used by 90s kids. In case if you're wondering how, then have a look at Gansu Wind Farm, China, Mupandal Wind Farm, India, and Alta at USA. These places use megametal versions of same toy to generate electricity, with a wingspan stretching up to 116 feet and a tower height of 212 feet. In case if you are wondering how for this also, then have a magnet, move it around any conductor really fast, and connect that conductor to any LED bulb, and there you go, you have your own power generator. And that is exactly what we do in windmills. The linear motion of wind is converted into rotational motion using the propellers of the windmill, and that rotational motion is particularly used to move a magnet around a coil or a coil around a magnet. And this is called Faraday's law. That is, the relative motion between a conductor and a magnetic field will induce an electric current in the conductor. The miniature versions of these windmills are called flow probes, and the currents generated by these are used as signals to calculate its RPM, which again is converted into the velocity of the fluid. These tiny devices can be used to measure the speed of wind, speed of river flow, and the speed of every flowing fluid. But the question you should be asking is how these devices are important. Are they only devices for amusement? Absolutely not. These devices are really important in disasters and survival situations. Suppose that you are standing on one side of a river with a motorboat and some flood victims, and the river is on fire. A few yards away, the river is falling straight down. Now your job is to take those victims to the other side for safety and further help. What would you do? You should pause the video and give it a thought. But if you don't want to pause or don't want to think, it's okay, it's totally okay. So many people don't want to think. You can continue watching. The first thing that every sane person would think about is how can he minimize the drift by the river. Now you should keep in mind that we are talking about flood situation. So it is obvious that flow speed will be very high. Now let us assume that the flow speed is twice the speed of your boat. So it is pretty obvious that you cannot change any of them. The only thing in your control is the angle at which you want to cross the river. So the problem here is to decide at what angle you should be going. Now let us try to put this information on a right angle triangle and try to minimize the third side. Looks like we have a potential solution. So we have the base and the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. We know that cosine of angle is the ratio of base to the hypotenuse. So you should be making an angle of 60 degrees from the incoming stream and 120 degrees from the outgoing stream. Going at any other angle will either increase your resultant velocity too much or decrease the angle of resultant velocity with the outgoing stream, eventually throwing you into the deep river. So there you go. You have crossed the river successfully and safely just by having an important information and then processing that information with maths. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.